Hello, people, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Deep Roy Chaudhary, and I'm just a random guy who talks about random stuff. Um, Today, I'm going to talk about the future of our species. Where we humans are going to end up as a species, maybe in the next 50 years or in the next 100 years? I'm just going to talk about it from a layman's perspective. I don't claim to be an expert in these kinds of things. I'm not a professional futurist, but I do like talking about this stuff, and it's good for content on my YouTube channel. So let's just be honest about what I am doing. So I have to talk about something at the end of the day. So yeah, uh, what is the future of human civilization in the next maybe 40 or 50 years or maybe 100 years down the line? So, you know, I think one of the biggest things that will happen, maybe not, I mean, no, not just in the next 50 years, but I think maybe in the next 10 or 20 years, I think a lot of people around the world, or basically, I think most countries around the world would be forced to actually look for more and more renewable sources of energy instead of sorry instead of going for the traditional fossil fuel based economy. I think people are going to look at more and more at solar power, or hydroelectric power, or tidal electricity, or all these other already sources of energy that we have available before us. But all countries are not harnessing it properly, and to and yeah, and I think it would be fair to say that most countries around the world are still quite dependent on fossil fuels. But I think that is going to change in the coming years, because at the end of the day, fossil fuel, again, the people have different perspectives on this. Some people are saying that there are endless reserves of fossil fuels. Maybe something different than fossil fuels, maybe natural gas, shale gas or something like that. Different kinds of fuel reserves can be found under the ground. But a lot of people who are concerned about the pollution that is caused by this, they would want everyone to consider switching to solar power altogether for everything. Literally, I think a lot of futurists, and a lot of advocates of green technology would want the economies of all countries around the world to become more and more green, more and more eco-friendly. Of course, if that is practically possible, if that is even feasible, and if solar power isn't completely zero emission thing. I mean, there is pollution is caused, environmental damage to some extent is caused, while mining for those materials that is eventually necessary for making that solar panel. So even that even that uh, even that solar panel is not completely eco-friendly. It's not does not completely absolve humanity okay, not absolve humanity, but yeah, it's not completely eco-friendly. There is a certain amount of environmental damage that even creating a solar panel or a wind turbine causes. So you know so uh, well, not wind turbine, windmill causes, sorry, not wind turbine, I guess. So even these eco-friendly sources have their carbon footprint, have you know even making these solar panels would entail some amount of ecological environmental damage that we humans would have to tolerate, let's say, I guess. Now if that I think policy planners around the world have to think about it from a pragmatic perspective, which is practically feasible, which is practically doable, and eventually um, uh, what is going to cause a net decrease in carbon emissions compared to the fossil fuel economy that we have today. Is it natural gas, or is it green technology altogether? We will Only time will tell. But I think a lot of people would want the entire economy to revolve around solar electricity, because I mean the sun is an endless source of energy. But of course, harnessing that source of energy on every day, I mean on rainy days there is no sun out there um, that can whose energy can be harnessed. So even that seems tricky, let's say. And then, so yeah, this is on the energy front. Regarding the future of human civilization, a lot of other things can also happen. In the future of human civilization, we might encounter aliens. Yeah, I did say that. We might encounter aliens. We might, or the governments around the world might officially declare that they have been in contact with extraterrestrial beings all this time. They already knew about it. They just wanted to hide it from us ordinary people, because maybe, telling us about this, telling us about aliens would cause a mass panic. Who knows? I mean, who knows what the entirety of the population of humanity would react, or how would the entirety of human population would react if they come to know that there are aliens out there that are way more advanced than us, and they might have been living with alongside us on planet Earth, and we might not have even known about it. God knows how entire countries of people are going to react to that. And again, it might be possible that it is all just a hoax. It is all just a conspiracy theory, and the governments around the world are not hiding anything from us, and they are. We still haven't encountered aliens. That is also a possibility. So the future of humanity, I will talk about more about this in my next video.